So guys, I got carried away there and I forgot, thank God I pressed something and it cut me off because I was gone 20 minutes explaining. It's just when I get into the zone, I just keep going and then I lose track of time. That's genuinely the honest to God truth. So I did explain that, so have a good look at that again. It's very, very clear from what I'm even doing. I even have the places highlighted to show you. Okay, when you're taking a decimal away, when you're trying to work out what 1/8 is 0.125 and you're trying to work out what 7/8 is. Now remember, 1/8 is the exact same as 2/8, but it's broken down in its simplest form. And 14/16 is exactly 7/8 because it's broken down in its simplest form. And when you're trying to get the value of the 7/8 or the 14/16, which is the same, you take it away, so it's 0.125. You have to take it away from 1 because you're dealing in whole numbers and part numbers, and part number is to the right of the decimal. So 0.125 is not a whole number. You need another 0.875 for it to become 1. How do I know that? I take it away from 1.000. I had 3 zeros after to accommodate taking away 1, 2, 3 places after the decimal. Okay, which is that in its expressed is 125 over, what do you think it is? Over 1,000. Excellent for those of you who answered. Why? There's 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal and how many zeros in 1,000. I told you this a million times. Okay, guys, so we've got 87.5% unshaded in number 8 and 12.5% shaded. Now I'm going on to number 9. Okay, guys, so 9 is easy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 out of, it's 2 out of 5, and we know that 2/5 is 4/10, and 4/10 is 40 over 100, and that's 0.4. 2/5 is 0.4. How do I know? Because 40 over 100, if you knock off these 2 zeros, is the exact same. See what I mean? 40 over 100 is the exact same as 4 over 10, okay? And 4 over 10 in its simplest form is actually 2 over 5. But we're working at 4 over 10, which is 0.4. So 2/5 is 0.4, which is 40%. 1, 2, when I change it to a percentage, I multiply by 100, and your decimal point looks like it's moving 2 places to the right. Therefore, 40% is shaded, that means 60% is unshaded. If 40 out of 100 is, if 2/5 is shaded, well then 3/5, 2 and 3, 5 out of 5 is 1, unshaded, and that's 60 over 100, which is 0.6. Okay, 0.6. Is that okay, guys? So that is, and then number 10. Number 10 is 4 out of 10. So I did 4 out of 10 unshaded, which is 0.4, 40%, and 6 out of 10, which is 0.6, and 0.6 multiplied by 100, move your decimal point 2 places to the right, 6%, and 60 and 40 must add up to 100%. So QED. Now, B1. So B1 is 71. Now, this is how I did them. I told you I did B1 to B. I did 1A, B, C, D for you yesterday, guys, okay? So 71 over 100 at 0.7 is 17%. Why? Because I converted them all to the same value. So I put 71 over 100, and you can put, I don't know which way I did it Monday, but I'm going to say, for example, 7 over 10, which is 70 over 100, and then 17 over 100. Therefore, 70, you have to go back to the original expression. Even though I've worked this out to be 70 over 100, I've done it in my rough work. I do it in my rough work, but I come back and I put the values from greatest to smallest the way they're written out. Although I have worked them out, I brought them to a common kind of an expression. So I've brought them all this time to hundredths. So 17 over 100, 70 over 100, and 71 over 100. So 71 over 100 is the largest, then followed by 70, which is 0.7, and then followed by 17. Then I went on to B. So it was a fifth, 21, and 23. So in my rough work, I went over and I converted a fifth, which changed that to 100, you multiply 5 by 20 on the bottom, so you multiply by 20 on the top, so that's 20 over 100. Or what I did is get a fifth of 100 is 20, so that's 20 over 100. Okay, so 20 over 100, 21 over 100, and 23 over 100. This is the largest. Okay, this is the next, and this is the next. So, oh, sorry for that one, I made a mistake. It's 23, I don't know what I did there. 23, I must have gone from the smallest to the largest in my head. I just made a mistake. So it's 23, followed by 21, followed by 20. Sorry, in B, guys, I must have just thought in my head that it was smallest to largest, but I'm okay. I went back to the proper way the next the next time. So 23% followed by 21 followed by 20. That it should be that way. Okay. So and then D. Oh, C. C, yeah. C. So C 11. So we have C 11%, a tenth, and 0.011. So that's 11 over 100. That's 10 over 100 because a tenth of 100 is 10, 10 over 100. But that is 11, 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal, which means there's 3 zeros in 1,000. So it's 11 over 1,000. So we obviously, this is the smallest, this is the next, and this is the largest. So it's 11%, 1/10, and 0.011. I did the rough work where I put the 11 over 100, the 10 over 100, and the 11 over 1,000. That's the rough work to work out which is the largest. But when I'm writing the answer, I must do it as it is expressed in the book, not in my rough work. You need the rough work to work out the values, which is bigger, which is smaller. But when you're writing down the answers, you must write them in the expressions that they're given in the book. 24%, a quarter, 40. So 24 over 100, a quarter is 25 out of 100, and 0.40 is 40 over 100. So 40 over 100 is largest, then 25 over 100, then 24 over 100. Hence, 0.40 is the largest, then this, then this. Okay? Now, why didn't I put in 25 over 100? Because this is the way it was expressed in the question. I must keep it to the exact same way it's expressed and give it in those answers. But my rough work reflects it in a different way. I'm just trying to bring them all to a common expression so I can work them out. So that would be 40 over 100, 25 over 100, and 24 over 100. But in the book, it's expressed this way, so that's the way I give the answer. Okay. Now, number 2. What's 2? Okay, so it's 2A. So we have 75 over 100. Now, 4/5 is 80 over 100. How do I know that? If you multiply 5 by 20, you must do to the top. That's 80 over 100. Or what I do is I get a fifth of 100 to get 1/5, which is 20 multiplied by 480. Either which way, you're still converting it to hundredths by either multiplying 5 by 20 to make 100, and what you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. So 5 20s is 100, so that means 4 20s, 80 over 100 is 4/5. As I told you before, 4/5 is also 8/10, and 8/10 is 80 over 100. If you learn them off by heart, you won't have to be doing any dividing or multiplying. Okay, and 85 over 100. So the largest, 0.85, 85 over 100. The next, 4/5, 80 over 100. And lastly, 75%, 75 over 100. There you go. And write it out, 0.85, 4/5, and 75. Next one. 39%, 39 over 100. 3/6, I told you if you learn them off by heart, 3/6 is 6/10, 6/10 is 60 over 100. How did I know? I can check that back. I multiply that by 20 to make 100. So what I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So that's 60 over 100. Or if I want to do it the old-fashioned way, I'm dealing in hundredths. So to get 1/5, you divide 100 by 5 and then multiply by 3 to get 3/5, and that is 5 into 100, 26, 60 over 100. Either which way, you're going to end up with 60 over 100. If you do learn that 3/5 is the exact same, is the equivalent to 6/10, you'll never have a problem having to be multiplying or dividing. So that's 6%. And then 0.33 is 33 over 100. So we have 39 over 100, 60 over 100, and 33. Answer is 3/5, 39, and then 0.33 when we write them out. Now the next value is C. C 90%, and then again multiply 20 by 5. So what we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator, multiply by 5, and so we end up with 90 over 100. So 90 over 100, 90 over 100, 0.89. So both of them the same value. Let's multiply them out. So 90, where am I? Oh, where are you? 90%, 19 over 20, the same, and then 0.89. Or you can put 19 over 20, 90%. Okay, guys? So, yeah, and then 5/8, 60 and 66. So 5/8, we knew that 1/8 is 0.125 multiplied by 5. Okay, so 5/8, we'll just change it to hundredths. So 5/8 is, so if you multiply, where am I? Have I worked it out there for you? Oh, I didn't even put that down. Sorry, guys. So we have 5/8, 60%, and 0.66. So 5/8 is 0.125 multiplied by 5, just to show you. And it's 0.125. 625. Okay, now you could learn those off, and you wouldn't have to, which you will have to eventually. So it's 60, so percentage wise that'll be 62.5%, then you have 60%, and then you have 66%. So the biggest value is 0.66, and then you have the 0.625, which is 62.5%, and then you have your 60. Okay guys, so I wrote them back and I just forgot the final one, which was 60%. Okay, just put that in there. I don't know what happened. So okay guys, now I've worked, so 5/8. If you can't get 5/8, what you do is, as I said before, you divide 8 into 5, and you do it as, and remember you have your DMS, DGD, and you have to add zeros until you have no remainder, like we did in the this one. Where was it? Like we did in the 16th. Remember, you divide and you keep going. Okay guys, you would do the same for 5/8, but if you learn it, you won't have to worry about it. But we do know that 1/8 is 0.125 from the previous sum, so we multiplied by 5. No, thank you. And so that's it. So I'm just going to keep going here, and then I'll just move on. So 100%, 110%, and then 125%, because 5 over a quarter is 1 1/4, and that's 1.25. And 1.25 is 125%, 100%, and then if you multiply 1.1 by 100, you end up with 110%. Okay guys, so that is, in its equivalence, it is 5 over 4, because that's 125%, 1.1 because that's 110%, and then 100%. How did I get that? In a mixed number, that's 1 1/4, and 1 1/4 is 1.25. Change it to a percentage, multiply by 100, you have 125%. Change that to a percentage, jump 2 places to the right is 110%, and then you have 100%. Okay guys, and then I'm on to, where am I? I said no, thank you. Please don't talk to me. And no, the door is closed, thank you. I can't go back on this, guys. So B is 5, 0.55, and 50. And so we have 5. 5 is the largest number because it's 5.000, that's 500%. And then we have 55% of 50, so 5, 55, and then 50 is the last. 11 is 11, so multiply that by 100, and that'd be 1,100%. Okay, so 11 is the biggest, 11, and then we have 11% is not, and then 12%. So we have 11 is the biggest number, and then and then we have 0.12, and then 11. Okay, so we have 11. Oh God, where am I? See, it's very hard to find. 11, then 0.12, and 11. 11 is a whole number, so it's a decimal. Just forget about the other part of it. 11, 11.00. The rest are parts. 11% is equivalent to 0.11, and 12 then 0.12. So it's 11, 0.11, and if we converted 11% back into a decimal, we divide by 100, so we jump 2 places to the left. 2 places to the left would be 1, 2, so it would be 0.11. So we have 11.00, 0.12, and 0.11 QED. And then the next one, where am I? So 4A. No, oh yeah, D. Okay, okay, 13 over 20 is 65 over 100, and that's 65%. 65% is the first one, so that's 13 over 20 is the largest, then 0.56, which is 56%, and then 50. So greatest is 30 over 20, because that's 65%. Multiply by 5 in the bottom, multiply by 5 in the top, 65 over 100, which is 65%, okay? And so 13 over 20 is the largest, then 0.56, which would be equivalent to 56%, and lastly, it's 50%. So in that order, D, where am I? There. Okay, and then we have 1A, then we have 4A, B, C, D. So 3 over 20 is 15%, because 20 by 5, and then 3 by 5, 15. 15%, 0.2, 20%. So we have 0.2 is the largest at 20%. Then we have 3 over 20, which is 15%, and then 10%. So it goes largest, 20%, 0.2 is the largest, followed by 3 over 20, which would be 15%, which is 0.15, and then 10%, which is 0.1. Okay, guys? Right, so that's 4A. Where's 4A? Yeah. Okay. And then for B, 2/3 is 0.6666, and that's 70. So 70 followed by 2/3, which is 0.6666, which is a little bit bigger than this. So this is the largest, followed by 2/3, followed by 0.6. Remember, 1/3 is 0.3333, and 2/3 is 0.666 recurring. I mean, sometimes bring it to its two decimals, to the nearest two places after the decimal. And then we have 9. 9 is the biggest, and then we have 0.09 is for a 9 over 100%. If you convert 9% to hundredths, it's 9 over 100, which is 0.09. And then we have 0.9, which is 90 over 100. 9 over 10, which is the exact same as 90 over 100. So 9 is the largest, followed by 0.9, followed by 9%, because that's the smallest. 9% as a decimal is 0.09, whereas 9 is 9.00. It's a whole number, and a whole number is always going to be greater than part of a number, a decimal. Then finally we have 100%. So 1 is the biggest, followed by 11% at 0.11, followed by 10% at 10. There are your answers again for this part, 4A, done.